Welcome to the inauguration ceremony, inaugurating the academic year 2025. For your own comfort, please make sure that you switch off your mobile phones. And now, please all rise. The academic retinue will enter the room very soon now.
Do hymnu.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem of Poland.
Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, ziemi włoskiej do Polski, zanim przewodem złączy się z narodem. Marsz, marsz Dąbrowski, ziemi włoskiej do Polski, zanim przewodem złączy się z narodem. Święta na Twym świętym progu staje nasz natchniony chór. Jasność Twoja wszystko zaćmi, złączymy, co rozdzielił los. Wszyscy ludzie będą braćmi tam, gdzie Twój przemówi głos. Jasność Twoja wszystko zaćmi, złączymy, co rozdzielił los. Wszyscy ludzie będą braćmi tam, gdzie Twój przemówi głos.
Otwieram uroczyste posiedzenie.
I'm opening the ceremonial meeting of the Senate of Warsaw School of Economics on the occasion of the inauguration of the academic year 2025-2026. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly please be seated. It's with great joy and honor that I welcome you to today's inauguration ceremony. I would like to extend a particularly warm welcome to our guests of honor, whose presence makes this event so special. It's my great honor to welcome our graduate, Dr. Henryka Bochniarz, one of the one of the most recognizable figures in the Polish world of business, a doctor of economics, entrepreneur, former Minister of Industry and Trade, founder and longtime president of the Leviathan Confederation, as well as a member of many national and international advisory and expert bodies. For years, she has been working to promote social dialogue and the development of entrepreneurship and actively supporting gender equality in public life and business. Her experience combines the worlds of science, politics, economics, and social and civic society, and her voice inspires those who want to consciously shape reality. Ms. Henryka Bochniarz will deliver the inaugural lecture today for us. Once again, a heartfelt welcome, and let's give her a round of applause. Let me also welcome another person who's on the plane from Szczecin. Unfortunately, there's a fog, and the plane is delayed, but I'm sure she will be joining us. It's with great pleasure and honor that I welcome another special guest, Ms. Hanna Machinska, an outstanding lawyer, human rights defender, longtime deputy ombudsman, and a person who has been working with great determination for years to protect human rights and democratic values. The doctor is Doctor honoris causa of the University of Zurich. We can give her a round of applause, and when she joins us, we'll repeat the applause. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of His Magnificence Director of the Warsaw School of Economics, Professor Piotr Wachowiak, let me welcome wholeheartedly the guests who have come to join us, august guests. Welcome to Ms. Jolanta Hibner, Senator of the Republic of Poland, Dr. Karolina Zioło-Puziuk, Secretary of State of the Ministry of Science, Mr. Barbara Kaznowska, Deputy Mayor of the capital city of Warsaw, Aneta Sulewiak, Deputy Head of the Patent Office, Mr. Bartosz Dominiak, Director at the Minister's Office, Ministry of Digital Affairs, Dagmara Rybicka, Deputy Director of the Office for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, Mr. Rafał Miastowski, Mayor of the Mokotów District, and His Excellency Michał Janocha, Auxiliary Bishop of the Archdiocese of Warsaw, Reverend Mateusz Gawarski, Rector of St. Academic Church, Professor Marcin Pałys, Professor of the Main Council of Science and Higher Education, Professor Michał Kleber, Chairman of the Polish Commission for UNESCO, Minister of Science 2021-27, President of the Polish Academy of Sciences 2027-2015, Professor Jerzy Małachowski, Director of the National Center for Research and Development, Inspector Hubert Bałogrodski, Regional Police Commander in Warsaw II, and with us are also their excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, ambassadors, Mohamed Salahuddin Belaid, Ambassador of Algeria, Manuel Pedro Chavez, Ambassador of the Republic of Angola, Koivica Spiric, Ambassador of Republic of Herzegovina, Mirko Hayas, Ambassador of the Republic of Antonia, Sandra America Goriega Luisa de Cubre, Ambassador of the Republic of Guatemala, Mahmed Pandey Zomo Jali, Ambassador of the Republic of Yemen, Assad Jose Khater Peña, Ambassador of the Republic of Colombia, Violeta Ricci, Ambassador of the Republic of Moldova, Mahmoud Khalifa, Ambassador of the State of Palestine, Gloria Lizet, Ambassador of the Republic of Peru, Nana Seshaka, Ambassador of the Republic of Rwanda. We also with us representative of Azerbaijan, Democratic Republic of Congo, the French Republic, the Republic of India, the Embassy of Rwanda. Thank you for being with us. A heartfelt welcome to their magnificent the rectors, Professor Barbara Maciekowska, Rector of the EU, Maria Grzegorzewska, Academic for Special Education, Vice President for the Conference of Rector of Warsaw Universities, Professor Dmytro Lukayenko, Rector of the Kyiv, Vadim Hetman, Kyiv National Economic University, Chairman of the Council of Rectors of Kyiv and the Kyiv Region University, Professor Barbara Jankowska, Rector of the Poznań University of Economics, Professor Celina Olszak, Rector of the University of Economics in Katowice, Professor Czesław Zając, Rector of the University of Economics in Wrocław, Professor Alojzy Nowak, Rector of the University of Warsaw, a graduate of Warsaw School of Economics, Professor Rafał Krenka, Rector of the Warsaw University of Medicine, Professor Krzysztof Zaremba, Rector of the Warsaw University of Technology, Reverend Professor Ryszard Czekalski, Rector of the Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński University, Professor Wiesław Czopiński, Rector of the Aleksander Zelwerowicz Theatre Academy in Warsaw, His Excellency Archbishop Professor Jerzy Pankowski, Rector of the Christian Theological Academy in Warsaw, Reverend Professor Krzysztof Pawlina, Rector of the Catholic Academy in Warsaw, Professor Roman Cieślak, Rector of the SWPS University, Professor Grzegorz Mazurek, Rector of the Koźmiński University, Professor Maciej Rogalski, Rector of the Lazarski University, Professor Krzysztof Filipiak, Director of the Medical Center for Postgraduate Education. With us are also Vice Rectors of the following universities, Professor Bochniarz, Professor Magdalena Bofit of the Academy of Fine Arts, Professor Jarosław Gołębieski of Warsaw University of Life Sciences, Professor Rafał Janek from the Frederick Chopin University of Music, Professor Maria Elżbieta Orłowska from the Polish-Japanese Academy for Information Technology, Professor Paweł Tomaszewski from the Józef Piłsudski Academy of Physical Education, Professor Agata Brodkowska-Pagan from the Wyszczyla Academy of Science, Dr. Natasha Black from the Maria Skłodowska-Curie Medical University in Warsaw, Senior Brigadier, Master of Engineering, Paweł Friszkiewicz, Vice Rector of the Professors of it. We're also delighted to welcome the honorary doctors of the university, Professor Joachim Paffenholz and Mr. Krzysztof Pietraszkiewicz. Welcome former rectors of Warsaw Universities, Professor Jerzy Woźnicki, President of Polish Rectors Foundation, Rector of the Warsaw University of Technology in 1996-2006, Professor Leszek Pączek, Rector of the Medical University of Warsaw 2025-26. Welcome former rectors of the Warsaw School of Economics, Professor Adam Budnikowski, Professor Marek Rocki, and Professor Tomasz Szapira. A warm welcome to you all. With us are also guests from the Vadim Hetman Kyiv National Economic University, Professor Viktor Kuzikov, Vice Rector, Professor Yuri Solodkowski, Dean, Professor Lubov Lukanienko, and Ms. Olena Tsirkun. Thank you for being with us. With us are also Professor Henryk Skarżyński, founder and director of the Institute of Physiology and Pathology of Hearing and the World Hearing Center in Kajetani, Dr. Tomasz Krusny, President of the Office for the Competition and Consumer Protection, Dr. Wojciech Karczewski, Director of the National Agency for Academic Exchange, Ms. Małgorzata Szafoni, Vice President of the Management Board of the National Fund for Environmental Protection and Water Management, Ms. Renata Bielak and Ms. Dominika Rogalińska, Vice Presidents of the Central Statistical Office, Mr. Marek Szczęski, President of the Management Board of the Bank Guarantee Fund, Professor Marek Grigier, Director of the Institute of Agriculture and Food Economics, Professor Małgorzata Iwanić-Dorozdowska, President of the Management Board of National Association of Cooperative Banks, President of the Management Board of the Polish American Freedom Foundation, Krzysztof Przybył, President of the Board of the Polish Promotional Emblem Foundation, Ms. Małgorzata Rolek, President of the Management Board of the State Rehabilitation Fund, Mr. Piotr Wyszyński, Vice President of the Polish Chamber of Insurance. We welcome Mr. Witold Literacki, Vice President of the Management Board for Corporate Affairs at Orlen S.A., Mr. Adam Czyżewski, Ms. Agnieszka Browka, representatives of Orlen S.A., patron of the 120th anniversary University of Warsaw School of Economics. Also Mr. Wojciech Wróblewski, Advisor of the Management Board of PZU SA, Representative Strategic Partner of the 120th Anniversary of the Warsaw School of Economics. We're also joined by Mr. Bartosz Kublik, President of the Management Board of Bank Ochrony Środowiska SA, and Witold Baran, Management Director, Mr. Jacek Milowski from Bank Millennium, Ms. Marietta Golińska from EY, Ms. Małgorzata Bednak from Budimex SA, Ms. Marcelina Frydy, Maximilian Waltz from Roleau. We also welcome Mr. Berdychowski, Chairman of the Program Council of the Institutes for Eastern Studies Foundation, Ms. Irena Pichola, President of Responsible Business, Ms. Agata Śmielnik, Mr. Beck, organizers Together Climate Summit for Social Economic Moc Biznesu, Mr. Ramil Wiszkowski, Executive Director of the UNIC Global Compact Network Poland, Ms. Karolina Adamska-Gosia, Managing Director Responsible Business Forum, Ms. Professor Grażyna Czerwetynska, President of the Kaskowski Foundation Poland, Mr. Marek Górski, President of Leviathan, Mr. Marek Mocki, President of the Polish Press Agency, Anna Rulkiewicz, President of the Luxmed Group, Ms. Sterbas, President of the Play Sustain, Ms. Małgorzata Sukacz, President of the Youth Entrepreneurship Foundation, Katarzyna Skopis, President of the Humorous Foundation, Koźmińska, President of the Polska Czytelnictwo Foundation, Mr. Gdański, President Director of the Polish Audit Supervision Agency, Mr. Jędrys, Director of Polish American Freedom Foundation, Marczewska Ziemacka, Honorary President of the Polish Economic Society, Ms. Patrycka Satora, Vice President of the Board of Polish Finance Institute, Ms. Maria Andrzejewska, Director General of the UPW Warsaw, Mr. Karolstov from NASPI, Ms. Karolina Koczmarek-Bożowic from the Dutch-German Academic Exchange Service, Ms. Wierzbowska, President of the Rector Civitas University, Mr. Torolej, Secretary General International Chess Foundation, FIDE. We also welcome Dr. Dobrara Cińska, Director of the Non-Public School, number 181 of the Warsaw School of Economics, Ms. Małgorzata Piecińska, Director of Technical School of Economics, number 8 in Warsaw, and Mr. Mariusz Łukaszewicz, Director of the Janina Jóźlak Primary School in Cieśle. We also welcome the members of the Warsaw School of Economics University Council. Warmly welcome Ms. Krystyna Lewkowicz, President of the Warsaw School of Economics University of the Third Age, Mr. Juraszek Harkowski, President of the Warsaw School of Economics Foreign Trade Cooperation, and all graduates of our university. We also welcome all those who are following today's ceremony online. Thank you very much for being with us, and it's our great pleasure to be meeting in such numerous numbers on this beautiful sunny fall morning. A heartfelt welcome.
Też serdecznie Zosię Czernicką, która...
We would like to welcome Zosia Czernicka, who has just joined us. Wonderful to have you with us. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of you. Your Magnificency, dear Rector, over to you. Thank you very much. And once again, I'd like to say it's wonderful to have you all here. I apologize if there's any one of you that hasn't been mentioned, but you're all super important, the most important people here as our guests. And Madam, thank you so much for reading all those names and titles, because I wouldn't be able to be as fast and clear at the same time. At your service. I have to mention one more thing. I have to mention our PhD graduate, Professor Leszek Barcelowicz, a very modest figure, nonetheless an important guest. Ladies and gentlemen, before I move over to my speech, I would like to just reflect upon what I'm feeling right now, because I would like to mention people that have left our academic family, people who are gone now, but actually their contribution and their engagement will be cherished and remembered forever by this university. And I mean Dr. Zbigniew Bąblewski, Professor Barbara Dobiegała, Barbara Doktorska, Professor Tadeusz Doroszewicz, Dr. Freiberg, Janina Grajber, Anna Haligowska, Renata Hajder, Olena Hubko, Marian Jankowski, Jan Kulik, Professor, Professor Leszczyński, Professor Stanisław Łobejko, Professor Helena Rembak, Andrzej Stanek, Alicja Szewczyk, Professor Janusz Witkowski, Dr. Danuta Zamorska. So let us take a minute to commemorate them.
Bardzo dziękuję.
Thank you so much. And according to our agenda or plan for today's inauguration, now there is time for the rector's speech. It's my speech, so I will make my move to the lectern. Madam Minister, I would like to welcome the Voivod, head of the regional authorities, all the presidents, Madam Senator, dear family of the Warsaw School of Economics. 120 years ago, a group of enthusiasts under August Zieliński, a former teacher, started of the Kronberg School, started to get a permit to establish trade and economics courses for men, unfortunately only for men, in Warsaw. Their efforts proved fruitful, and in the end, on September 13, 1906, there was a special building that was adapted for educational purposes in Smolna Street. They inaugurated their first academic year. Actually, 17 students, guests, were in attendance, who before participated in special preparatory courses that took several months. Actually, it was back then, even though our alma mater sometimes is thought to have been established in 1875, when Kronenberg School was established, but actually that the extraordinary history of the Warsaw School of Economics began. Our university, our school, has given this country many special, renowned people, like presidents, for prime ministers, deputy prime ministers, many ministers, including former minister Madam Bochniarz, who is here with us, but also members of parliament, senators, as well as amazing leaders of our social and economic lives. And I have to mention also presidents of the National Bank of Poland. We have two former presidents of the National Bank of Poland here in this room with us. The Warsaw School of Economics has been enjoying great reputation as the oldest economic and business university in Poland, and it's one of the most important and influential academic centers in Europe. It's never stopped being faithful and committed to its mission, namely promoting economic, social, and management-related knowledge. It's also a place of the most beautiful and cherished memories of thousands of graduates. If we were today to report to the very people who established the school, Mr. Zieliński, and then the later rector, Mr. Miklaszewski, if we were to report to them what we've done with their heritage, I think I would very proudly declare, on behalf of many generations of teachers, employees, students, and PhD students, I could report that we never wasted or squandered their heritage. We actually built on it. We made it more modern, like the campus. We've also developed our didactic offer. Today, there's over 15,000 students taking advantage of what we offer. We have stationary courses, we have bachelor degrees, postgraduate degrees, we have MBA courses and doctoral courses. We have developed our research activities. We are active internationally. We're working with businesses. And I think the best example of that is the fact that we have the Warsaw School of Economics Partners Club that's been around for 27 years, but also the founding fathers of these universities would hear in my report that we have amazing teachers, lecturers, employees who are great at shaping future leaders of our political, social, and economic lives. Our students excel across many areas as researchers, members of the academia, athletes, cultural activists, and so on and so on. And let me just say that starting in 2022, we have become an integral part of the European University of Social Sciences, Civica, that includes 10 prestigious European universities. And I would also stress that when Alma Mater in April this year became AACSB accredited, this university has joined an elite group of business universities of the triple accreditation crown, EMBA, EQUIS, AACSB. Actually, there is only 1% of business universities in the world that can say that they hold a triple crown. And there's only 3 universities, actually friendly universities, and actually I see the rectors of those universities, the Koźmiński University and the University of Warsaw, the Faculty of Management, as well as this university. And actually the strongest argument that goes to show that the Warsaw School of Economics really continues to be faithful to its motto, to shape future leaders, is in what happens to its graduates. We have high positions in all kinds of rankings, including the ELA or the Perspektywy ranking lists, but we also have a social mission to fulfill, and we're very active contributing towards the Polish economy. And our graduates, they do that all the time in their professional lives. Now I'm looking at Dr. Henryka Bochniarz. And as I said, she will be later stepping up to this lectern to talk about the challenges of the modern economy. Madam Henryka Bochniarz, as I said, she graduated from the Warsaw School of Economics. And for many years, she used to be the president of the Leviathan Employers Confederation. And actually, this university has been working with the Leviathan Confederation for years. And I would like to thank you, Madam Bochniarz, for your contribution. But also, Madam Bochniarz, former minister, president of the Employers Confederation, and so on, she is a great example of the fact that we espouse such values as truth, integrity, respect, and professionalism. These are the values that are at the center of what we do. Let me mention the first inauguration lecture in the history of this school. It was by Professor Jan Kucharzewski, a renowned expert on Russia and Russia's history, as well as a lecturer at this university. And actually his book, From White to Red Tsarism, it was banned during the communist era. And after the fall of communism, when the world started believing that Russia started democratizing itself, that book was seen as excessively biased. Today, we witness with our own eyes the brutal aggression of Russia against Ukraine, and we see that our former lecturer, he was right in his book and in his work, because he reminded us that Russia has been developing through expansion ceaselessly throughout centuries. And Ukraine decided to try to face to this oppressor. And for over 3 years, they've been successfully defending European values and defending themselves against Russian aggression. I would like to thank His Excellency, the Ambassador of Ukraine, Mr. Vasyl Bodnar, for his fruitful cooperation and engagement. And I'm really pleased that among our guests, we also have representatives of the Kiev National Economic University, the Vadim Hetman University, including the rector, Professor Lukanienko. So once again, a very warm welcome to you. Mr. Rector, thank you so much for honoring you with your presence, with your whole team. And I have to say that your university, the Vadim Hetman University, actually was established in 1906. So it has a very similar anniversary coming up. And I would like to also express my appreciation to all the Ukrainian men and women who are defending Ukraine every single day, who struggle with the hardships of war. And I know how difficult life is in shelters, under pressure, in constant fear for your own life, as well as the lives of your loved ones. We really have to appreciate our democratic values even more so. Rule of law, respect for human rights and liberties, economic freedom. These are the values that we are enjoying in Poland, thanks to our EU membership, among other factors. Also membership in NATO. We also have Dr. Hanna Machińska with us. She's our guest of honor. Hopefully she will join us very soon, as she's flying here from Szczecin. She used to be head of the office for the Council of Europe in Warsaw. She's a human rights defender, a longtime deputy of Ombudsman of Human Rights. She has been courageous, opposing attempts to violate the constitutional order. She defended refugees and cared for humanity. Her admirable efforts we have been watching for years, and she is the very symbol of all the values that this university holds dear. I would like to present to you the first copy of the medal that was minted on this occasion to celebrate our 120th anniversary. Ladies and gentlemen, the history of this university is sort of intertwined with the history of this country. We have developed this university drawing on the tradition of this country, but we're also very much devoted to the notions of being modern and being future-oriented. In our DNA, we have the ambition to innovate and to be part of the technology race. Thanks to amazing people who are part of our community, we have always been trailblazers in social sciences. We have always been developing or helping develop strategies for reforms. We've been one step ahead of the curve in terms of students and what we teach them. We've always been very active working with the world of business. Let me also mention Professor Barcerowicz. He's been very successful, and he took our economy from a socialist reality towards a free market, or the free market reality. Thank you, Professor, for taking us there. I would also like to thank all the former rectors and the current rectors of economic universities in Poland. Thank you for creating the KRUE Inside think tank, because this think tank will be analyzing our economy, our trends. We will contribute to creating a stable economy. We will continue to analyze solutions that are offered to our economy. We will also look at how universities and higher education can develop, including how it can be funded. I'm looking here at the relevant minister. We realize that we need to spend quite a lot at this time on defense. But I have to still say very firmly that without adequate funding for science and education, there is no growth or development to speak of. There is no way for us to compete against top universities in Europe or around the world. We want to be pioneers who remain faithful to tradition at the same time. All this is reflected in the slogan for this 120th anniversary. This slogan was actually selected in a university-wide vote, and this slogan will be with us in the months to come, actually up until the end of 2026. And we have a number of events planned as part of this year of celebrations. And those events will be happening under the honorary patronage of the Speaker of the Senate, Małgorzata Kidawa-Błońska. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, for this. It's an honor that you have become our patron for this year. Madam Senator, Jola, please accept our gratitude. Also, our anniversary is supported by Orlen, which is a petrol company in Poland, and we have strategic partners, PZ USA and Santander Bank. So thank you very much for your support. I would like to now express my sincere thanks and gratitude towards the management of these companies, Orlen, PZU, and Santander Bank. I mentioned the slogan, so let me tell you more about this secret. Let me officially announce the slogan that was selected in the contest, and actually there were over 280 entries, slogans proposed. Over 800 people participated in this competition, so we selected this particular slogan. Can I tell you about it? I think you see it. 120 years of the Warsaw School of Economics. Tradition that shapes tomorrow.
It's incumbent on me to announce the author of that slogan, Dr. Paweł Węgrzyn. Congratulations. And please accept a small gift for you, Doctor. And I wish to thank all those who have been involved. There's been a lot of engagement, 270 proposals, over 800 people were involved. Dear guests, I would like to warmly welcome the students of both genders and the doctoral students, PhD students who are taking their first steps at the Warsaw School of Economics. Please, you bring youth, enthusiasm, and a desire to deepen your knowledge, as well as youthful uncompromisingness to our university. Please come with dreams that will hopefully come true. I hope they will come true. Because Minister Marek, when hosted by the Archbishop of Warsaw, he said that the budget for science was not the budget of his dreams. That made me made me shape that association. But these dreams are supposed to come true. So may this new year, which is just starting, be a source of joy for you and the beginning of great projects. Please take advantage of all the opportunities that will be opening up for you, and there will be really numerous. Please be bold, but also responsible for your decisions. In remembering that we are all individually and collectively responsible for a good atmosphere and cooperation. Please adhere to the values of the Warsaw School of Economics, which are the foundation and the cornerstone of our activities. I wish to you a lot of satisfaction and joy so that this academic year, which is just starting, could reflect as through a lens all that has been best about the history of the Warsaw School of Economics, which is turning 120 years this year. Good luck in the academic year 2025-2026. Thank you very much. Professor Piotr Wachowiak, Rector of the Warsaw School of Economics. Your Magnificence, thank you very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's invite Mr. Robert Sitnik, the Deputy Provincial Governor, who will read the letter from the Governor, the Provincial Governor of Mazovia. Over to you, sir. Good morning, Your Magnificence, ladies and gentlemen. Please accept my congratulations on the inauguration of the new academic year to all the university community, but first of all to your first-year students. You're starting a very beautiful period of your life, and best of luck. Let me read the letter. Dear Rector, the beginning of the new academic year is one of the most important events in a university's life. The celebrations shape the beginning of coming back to the normal course of action and teaching those wishing to acquire knowledge. This is a feast full of hope and satisfaction. It's also a source of satisfaction that so many young people have decided to start their studies at the Warsaw School of Economics, which is a center which is involved in many research projects for the benefit of the country and the economics. And this is also very close to my heart. Investing in knowledge is a very important component in the national context, in the context of many challenges of the last years. The contribution of the university shapes the successful future of the Republic of Poland. To you, Your Magnificence, the teaching staff, the faculty, and the students, I wish that the new academic year should bring satisfaction in your personal and professional lives. Yours sincerely, Maciej Frankowski, Provincial Governor. Thank you very much for the wishes and for reading out the letter. Thank you very much. And now, with great pleasure, I am inviting Mr. Literacki. No, one more thing, Madam Minister, to start with. She also has a letter. Oh, Mr. Rector, you're in charge. Madam Minister, in that case. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to read out the letter from the Minister of Science and Tertiary Education, Mr. Marcin Glasek. Your Magnificence, the Senate, faculty, student, PhD students, ladies and gentlemen, on the occasion of the inauguration of the academic year 2025-26, to all the members of the Warsaw School of Economics community, let me express my words of appreciation and my greetings. I especially thank the bodies of the oldest economic university in Poland. I'm convinced that going forward we can cooperate in the spirit of cooperation and seek many solutions that will contribute to the development of Polish science and higher education. I appreciate proudly the accomplishments of the university, which is continuing the 120th tradition and is one of the leading universities in Poland and one of the best leading universities of this profile, the top standards in terms of teaching and research, confirmed by the Triple Crown, the highly qualified faculty, and the vibrant university organizations make this academic center stand out, which contributes a lot to the Polish economy. The recent events have proven that Poland has a huge research potential, and it knows how to boldly and flexibly utilize it. I'm convinced that also the success that Dr. Sławosz Użdański-Wiśniewski has achieved might be an inspiration for many Polish students. It's also a symbol of Polish science. It's also a sign that the path from the university room to business and science is feasible. I'm very happy that the fates of many graduates can confirm it. Dear members of faculty, students, PhD students, I wish you boldness in taking new challenges, consistency, and courage and satisfaction from the achievements. Kind regards, Marcin Kulasek, Minister of Higher Education and Science. And on my own behalf, I'd like to wish you best of luck to all the students, PhD students, a lot of successes, but it has become a sort of a mini tradition of my brief interventions during the interventions that I always say something about humanities. And I'll also do it this time. Let's imagine what would happen if, supposing Wokulski and the protagonists of The Promised Land, and or even small Jack, little Jack, would be had been graduates of this university. The knowledge acquired at this university is a guarantee of success rather than failure. So may I just ask Madam President Kaznowska, who has a letter from Mr. President. The letter is handed to the Rector. Thank you very much for leading the letter. And now over to Madam President. Over to you. Your Magnificence, Rector, Senate, faculty, dear students, guests of today's celebrations. On the occasion of the inauguration of the academic year 2025-26, let me express my most sincere wishes of every success to the whole academic community of Warsaw School of Economics in this Jubilee special year on the 120th anniversary of the university's existence. We congratulate to you on your achievements in shaping leaders in terms of business and management. I appreciate your contribution to shaping knowledge and social responsibility stances. Warsaw School of Economics is a pride on the economic map of the capital city, in shaping many figures, shaping management and social policy. This is very important for the development of the city. The cooperation between the university and the city contributes to pursuing many socio-economic projects. They support the development of the capital and impacting the shaping of our country. I appreciate your role in teaching future specialists and managers who expand their knowledge and acquire new skills and competences. I believe that the upcoming academic year will bring many scientific success stories, supporting many initiatives, and bring satisfaction on your activities. I wish to you many ambitious ideas and meaningful experiences that will strengthen your university. Yours sincerely, Rafał Trzaskowski, Mayor of the capital city of Warsaw. Please allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to also say a couple of personal words, traditionally, because for years I've been coming to your university. Thank you very much, Rector. Dear students, you have accomplished your first dreams and become students of one of the leading economic universities in Poland and one of the best ones in Europe. Please make your ensuing dreams come true. Don't be afraid to dream. Take advantage of the benefits afforded by this university. Take advantage of the great knowledge and experience of distinguished lecturers, teachers. Remember that you are also studying in the largest academic center in Poland. There are over almost 250,000 students in Warsaw. Take advantage of the student life. You're invited to do so. Warsaw is a city of opportunities. Take advantage of them. Remember that whatever you take away after the 5 years at the university will stay with us, and you'll come back with your fond memories to those years. And that's what I wish to you. Thank you very much for reading the letter, and thank you very much for being with us, Ms. Deputy Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen, several minutes ago, the Rector conveyed to us the slogan that will be accompanying all the events over the next couple of years, accompanying the 120th anniversary of Warsaw School of Economics. That's why I'd like to invite Mr. Literacki and the patron, Vice President of the Management Board of Corporate Affairs, of course, of Orlen, as a representative of the ESG Partner Club. Thank you very much. As I understand the sponsor, because I'm most important, your magnificent Senate, professors, members of the faculty, students, it's my great honor to be able to appear in front of you and, along with you, inaugurate the new academic year at the most respected Warsaw School of Economics, especially that Orlen and the Warsaw School of Economics have been partners for over 20 years. And we've been building bridges of sorts between business and science. In 1998, we joined an agreement that was supposed to mark cooperation between business and science. As I remember, the fruit of it was the refurbishment of the main auditorium and the main building, as well as participation in the celebrations of 100th anniversary of the university. But, ladies and gentlemen, the world is very dynamic, unpredictable. We don't know what's coming in 2 years' time, let alone political issues, but also the digital revolution, energy transformation, climate changes. All that means that absolutely new challenges appear, new problems that we have to cope with, and the capital, the money, the new technologies will not take care of everything. Owing to the fact that it takes people to do so. Capital, human capital is needed, and the human capital is shaped here at this very university, because you can look at me. We obtain various CVs, and when I can see a CV that someone has learned hard at this university, quite frankly, I have a lot of trust in such a person. And that means that people who graduate from this university are certain to find employment not only in the country but also abroad. However, this university also teaches you something else. It teaches you openness, the way of seeking, asking questions, and challenging the status quo. This is what shapes new solutions. These are new solutions which are very much needed for these times, because we don't know the answers of how AI will develop, which way the transformation, the energy transformation is supposed to go. We can imagine that, but we don't know what's going to happen. What will happen in 2 or 5 years? That's why we need new open minds that are being educated here, and we need to be happy about it, because this university delivers the potential not only of the scientific basis, but also openness, curiosity, building new solutions. Of course, as a manager with 35 years experience, I can tell you that curiosity and challenging can be quite annoying in day-to-day work. However, from my own experience, I know that it helps us shape advantageous solutions for business, for the employer, and for the very employee. On behalf of my company, I wish to thank you for the cooperation so far. Let me assure you that Orlen, as the sponsor of the 120th anniversary of Warsaw School of Economics, will be coming and it will still be a partner. And throughout the year, I wish to you the satisfaction in acquiring specific market competences and inspiration. Inspiration going forward, it's very much needed in these times, because these can be very good times, but they can be also very difficult. So let's build new potential. Thank you very much.
Bardzo dziękuję.
Thank you. Thank you very much for those really important words. Orlen, the sponsor and patron of the 120th anniversary of the Warsaw School of Economics. We have also with us the strategic partner of the anniversary celebrations, PZU SA. We have just listened to a number of letters, but the rector has received many more letters from the Speaker of the Senate, from the Deputy Speaker of the Sejm, from the Minister of Digital Affairs, from the Minister of Family and Social Affairs, from the Minister of Climate and Environment. We would like to thank you for all those letters and all those wonderful words that the rector and the university received. You can, of course, read all those letters when you go to our website, the website that is dedicated to today's opening of the academic year. And now, let us present very important awards and medals, medals of merit for the Polish science, Sapientia et Veritas, wisdom and truth, which are medals from the Ministry of Higher Education for didactic, scientific, or organizational contributions. Now over to Professor Zawistowski, who is Vice Rector for Didactics and Students. Please lead our celebrations and presentation of these medals. Please be upstanding. It is my pleasure and honor to inform you that the Sapientia et Veritas Golden Medal will go to Professor Janusz Ostaszewski, Professor Tomasz Panek, Professor Wojciech Paprocki, Professor Marek Rocki. The silver medal, Sapientia et Veritas, will go to Professor Wanda Dugiel and Professor Arkadiusz Kowalski. Now I would like to invite Karolina Zioło-Pużuk, Secretary of State at the Ministry of Science and Higher Education, as well as His Magnificency, the Rector. Please present these very special medals. Please present the medal to Professor Ostaszewski. Now the medal is being presented to Professor Tomasz Panek. Professor, please join us on stage. Sapientia et Veritas Gold Medal. Now, Professor Wojciech Paprocki will be presented with the very same medal. Professor Marek Rocki to receive the Gold Sapientia and et Veritas Medal.
Profesor Marek Rocki także zostaje odznaczony złotym medalem Zasłużony dla Nauki Polskiej Sapientia et Veritas.
And now the Silver Sapientia et Veritas Medal for contribution for the Polish science. The first one goes to Professor Wanda Dugiel. And now Professor Arkadiusz Kowalski to receive the Silver Sapientia et Veritas Medal. I would like to thank you and congratulate you very much. Thank you for presenting these very special medals. Congratulations to the recipients. Professor, thank you for helping us with this part of our ceremony. And now let us move on to the following point of our agenda, namely the presentation of the medal of the National Education Committee. Madam Professor Agnieszka Chłoń-Dominczak, Vice Rector for Scientific Affairs, please read the decision on the medal. It is my honor to inform you that by the decision of the Ministry of Education, the medal of the National Education Committee for special contribution towards education, the medal goes to the following teachers and lecturers: Dr. Boberek, Dr. Bołkunów, Dr. Cichowicz, Dr. Dariusz Danilewicz, Madam Renata Gołębiewska-Paroń, Dr. Krystian Jaworski, Dr. Anna Krenner-Nowecka, Aneta Łądka, Agnieszka Mikołajewska, Aneta Piwko, Dr. Celina Sołek-Borowska, Dr. Aleksandra Staniszewska, Madam Katarzyna Staniszewska, Dr. Joanna Tabor-Błażewicz, Dr. Paweł Warowny, Profesor Sławomir Winch, Profesor Marcin Wojtysiak-Kotlarski, Anna Zając, Małgorzata Zamojska-Kowal, Professor Andrzej Zawistowski. Congratulations to all of you. You will be presented your medals right now. I'm inviting the Rector to do the honors. And I would like to ask all the recipients of the medals of the National Education Committee, Dr. Boberek, Dr. Bołkunów, Dr. Ewa Cichowicz, Dr. Dariusz Danilewicz, Renata Gołębiewska-Paroń, Dr. Anna Krejner-Nowecka, Aneta Łądka, Agnieszka Mikołajewska, Aneta Piwko, Dr. Celina Sołek-Borowska, Dr. Aleksandra Staniszewska, Katarzyna Staniszewska, Dr. Joanna Tabor-Błażewicz, Profesor Sławomir Winch, Profesor Marcin Wojtysiak-Kotlarski, Anna Zając, Małgorzata Zamojska-Kowal. Professor Andrzej Zawistowski. Thank you very much. Congratulations to all the recipients. I would like to thank Madam Minister, Minister Barbara Nowacka, because indeed she has been very, very generous to us. She's not with us, but whenever, at my first opportunity, when I meet her, I will thank her in person. I would like to congratulate all the recipients, and may you thrive and be successful in the future. And now, over to the following point of our agenda, a special medal or special honorary badge for the merit for Polish culture for people who have been for years managing the dance and singing team of the Warsaw School of Economics in Warsaw. This is a folk band who has been taking part in many festivals in over 20 countries all around the world, representing Polish folk dances and song. In 2016, they went to Japan and they had 2,500 participants dance the Polonaise. This band and dance team is a great example of how such activity can build connections between people and help promote the Polish culture. This organization is a great example of how one can be committed in promoting our national heritage and building social ties through art and culture. They are ambassadors of the Polish culture in the international arena. Now, I would like to ask Professor Jacek Prokop to lead this point on our agenda. Dear ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure an honor to be announcing the names of people without whom our special dance and singing group would never be as successful, both in Poland and all around the world. The Minister of Culture and National Heritage presented the honorary badge of the merit for the Polish culture to the people who have been committed to this special heritage, namely Anna Markowska, Anna Skalska-Toho, Jan Makulski-Toho. Jan is not with us because he actually teaches folk Polish dance in Japan, and he's there as we speak. And now I would like to ask Mr. Robert Sitnik, Deputy Voivode of the Mazowiecki region, and Rector Wachowiak to present those honors. Well, our band is all about demographics, because here we have 22 couples who have been married and 42 children that were born. Now I would like to ask all the recipients, Anna Markowska and Anna Skalska-Toho.
Bardzo pięknie dziękujemy i gratulujemy.
Thank you very much. I would like to congratulate the recipients, and this applause was the very expression of gratitude for years of hard work and promoting Polish folk culture. Thank you very much. Dear ladies and gentlemen, we are still celebrating the inauguration of the academic year 2025-26, and now we will be presenting medals for services and contribution to the Warsaw School of Economics. Professor Dorota Niedziółka, Vice Rector for Development, please lead for us this part of the ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to inform you that by the decision of the chapter, the medal for merit and contribution to the Warsaw School of Economics in 2025 has been awarded to Dr. Henryka Bochniarz and Mr. Bogusław Has. Before I invite the winners and the recipients to the stage, allow me to read the laudatory speech. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored that I can announce that pursuant to Resolution 21 of August 28, 2025, the chapter of the Medal for Merit and Contribution to the Warsaw School of Economics awarded the medal in 2025 to Dr. Henryka Bochniarz. Mrs. Henryka Bochniarz is a graduate of the Warsaw School of Economics, Faculty of Planning and Statistics, and she graduated from the Faculty of Foreign Trade. Then she obtained her PhD in economics. In her biography, she has a lot of points that contributed to the reforms in this country. Also, she is an inspiration for future generations. And the title of her book says, the most important thing, don't be lazy. So definitely her combination of academic, social, and business activities is a daily lesson for all of us. Her academic work at the Institute of Economic Conditions and Prices, the reform of the Polish economy, and her business and consulting successes are examples of her above-average ability to initiate, lead, and implement activities in many areas. Ms. Bochniarz's successes include the creation of the Leviathan Confederation and the proposal to create the European Forum for New Ideas, one of the leading congresses in this part of Europe, and her chairmanship of the Forum's Programming Council. For this university's community, all these things are as important as the enthusiasm, as an energy of Professor Bochniarz. She supports young leaders. She's part of the Leadership Academy and the Women's Congress and the Primus Foundation. In recognition of her services and contribution to the development of this university, for her invaluable support, inspiration, and belief in the strength of our community, as well as promoting our values, the Warsaw School of Economics awards Mrs. Henryka Bochniarz the medal for services to the Warsaw School of Economics. Congratulations and thank you. I would like to invite the Rector, Piotr Wachowiak, and the Chairman of the Medal Chapter, Professor Rocki. Please present the medal. The medal for services to the Warsaw School of Economics for Henryka Bochniarz. Thank you. Congratulations. I have the very same pleasure and honor to announce that pursuant to Resolution number 22 of August 28, 2025, the chapter of the Medal for Merit and Services to the Warsaw School of Economics awarded the medal in 2025 to Bogusław Has. Mr. Has is a graduate of the Faculty of Foreign Trade at the Warsaw School of Economics and member of the SEMBA program. He currently serves as vice chair of the SEMBA Advisory Board. For over 20 years, Mr. Haas has remained in constant contact with the university, demonstrating exceptional commitment to the development of SEMBA. He has regular contribution to management education, presenting valuable perspective. Between 2016-2025, he participated many times in preparations for visits and sessions held as part of the visits by the Accreditation Committee for AMBA and EQUIS. He also represented the Warsaw School of Economics at UQAM, promoting our university and its offer. As an employer, for many years, he's consistently been encouraging his employees to study at the Warsaw School of Economics, emphasizing that the knowledge and skills acquired here can significantly support the development of the very team he manages. Mr. Haas is the founder, main shareholder, and president of the board and CEO of Beta Soap. He's an outstanding manager and entrepreneur, and he's been actively involved in educational and cultural activities for many years, both nationally and locally. Due to Mr. Haas's contribution to the development of the Warsaw School of Economics, in recognition of his constant collaboration and support, his contribution to the life of the academic community of this university, the Warsaw School of Economics awards him the Medal for Services to the Warsaw School of Economics. Professor Wachowiak and the chair of the chapter, Professor Rocki, will be presenting the medal.
Następuje wręczenie medalu za zasługi dla szkoły.
The medal for services to the Warsaw School of Economics is being presented to Mr. Bogusław Haas. Congratulations. Now, with your permission, I'll give the floor over to the rector, Professor Piotr Wachowiak. We are flexible when it comes to the inauguration ceremony. The scenario is being changed in front of your very eyes. Yes, let me just open this. We're needed because with us we have Dr. Hanna Machinska as a guest of honor of our celebration. Let me just read a fragment of my speech again. I'm sorry, but this is for Madam Doctor. The presence of Dr. Anna Machinska as a special guest of honor, who is an outstanding lawyer, human rights defender, long-time deputy ombudsperson, who's had the courage to stand up to the disturbance of the constitutional order, the protection of refugees, and the care of humanity is what we could observe over the last years, which shows the determination to defend the values which we cherish at our alma mater. I'd like to present to you the first copy of the medal coined on the occasion of 120th anniversary of Warsaw School of Economics, while expressing my special thanks for what you've been doing, Madam Professor. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, whatever the rector is saying is off the mic. We cannot hear it. The first Jubilee copy of the medal goes to Professor Machinska. Thank you very much, and thank you for being with us during that special event, Madam Doctor, during the inauguration of the academic year 2025-26. And let's continue, ladies and gentlemen. In front of us, we have another special item of the agenda, the conveyors of the honorary doctor, which is conveyed to retired professor who have a lasting sign. May I just ask Professor Juan Dominczak to lead that part? Thank you very much. It's my great honor to inform you that by virtue of the resolution number 108 of the Senate of Warsaw School of Economics, the title of honorary professor of the Warsaw School of Economics has been awarded to Dr. Ewa Chmielecka. The distinction is an expression of deep appreciation. She's an author of many books on philosophy of science, the author of the framework of qualification, and representative of Poland at IQF Advisory Group at the European Commission, header of the Bologna University experts, and also an advisor to the Polish Academy of Sciences, member of the Polish Foundation of Rectors, member of the Accreditation Committee, fellow of the American Organization of Learned Societies, and also she was chosen as the Authority of the Year by the students, so both in terms of science and teaching. So may I just ask Professor Ewa Chmielecka and His Magnificence the Rector to convey the title of honorary professor. This distinction is an expression of our deep appreciation for her many years of contribution to the development of our university, her scientific activity, and the education of successive generations of students. Professor Ewa Chmielecka, congratulations. It's for the first time in the history of the Warsaw School of Economics that we are conveying the title of an honorary professor. Ladies and gentlemen, the title of an honorary by Resolution 107 of the Senate of Warsaw School of Economics, the title of an honorary professor of Warsaw School of Economics has been awarded to Dr. Zbigniew Drzewiecki, who's an expert in teaching the economic practice, as an expression of the recognition for his many years of involvement in the academic life of our university, his contribution, his role as an expert, for the contribution also in the reforming efforts, and also his contribution to the development of science in the economy. This distinction is an expression of his recognition of many years' involvement in the academic life of our university, his contribution to the development of science, and the education of successive generations of students. Please join us on the stage, Professor. And His Magnificence will present the title of the honorary professor. Professor Zbigniew Dworzecki, honorary professor of the Warsaw School of Economics. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Professor, and we congratulate those who have received the distinctions. And now, please rise for the hymn Gaudi Mater Polonia.
Chór Szkoły Głównej Handlowej. Bardzo pięknie dziękujemy.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come to traditionally congratulate the graduates of the Warsaw School of Economics who are celebrating the 50th anniversary of their immatriculation this year. This is a unique opportunity to express our gratitude and appreciation for their long-standing relationship with the university. I would like to ask Professor Jacek Prokop, Vice Rector for International Relations, to lead this part of the ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, I am most honored to be able to congratulate you on the 50th anniversary of your matriculation. I ask His Magnificent Director to present the congratulatory letters. I cordially invite the following people to the stage. Professor Ryszard Bartkowiak, Professor Piotr Błędowski, and Professor Krzysztof Jarosiński. Please join us. Unfortunately, Professor Krzysztof Jarosiński is not with us. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Thank you, Your Magnificence. Thank you, Professor. Ladies and gentlemen, we're beginning the main part of today's ceremony, the matriculation of first-year students. This is definitely a special moment when new members of our economic community are officially welcomed into the ranks of the Warsaw School of Economics. I'd like to invite Professor Andrzej Zawistowski, Vice Rector for Education and Student Affairs, to lead this part of the ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with great pleasure that I have the honor of introducing to you the first-year students of the Warsaw School of Economics who achieved the best results in this year's admission process. In the admission process for the first cycle studies, the highest number of points were obtained by Mr. Jakub Dziedzic, Ms. Apolonia Kawa, Mr. Michał Kochański, Mr. Szymon Sobiech, Mr. Paweł Stolarczyk. In the admission process for the second cycle studies master's degree, the highest scores were achieved by Ms. Afrodyta Barbachowska, Ms. Katarzyna Kaczak, Ms. Lena Kulikowska, Ms. Natalia Szymanko, and Mr. Adrian Wójcik. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. I will now read the text of the vows, of the oath. Aware of the rights and obligations of a student of the Warsaw School of Economics, with all those gathered here as witnesses, I solemnly swear to consciously acquire knowledge and to use it for the common good, to persistently seek the truth and to bear witness to it through my attitude, to uphold the dignity of students, the traditions and good name of the Warsaw School of Economics. Bravo. Please kindly take your seats. Please take your seats. And we're about to witness another special moment, the presentation of immatriculation certificates and the Warsaw School of Economic caps, symbolizing membership in our academic community. I would like to ask His Magnificence Director, Professor Piotr Błędowski, to perform the presentation ceremony of the caps and matriculation certificates. I'd like to invite all the distinctions, first-year students, freshmen, of the first-year cycle, bachelor cycle, who have obtained the highest number of score points.
Zapraszam studentów pierwszego roku studiów drugiego stopnia.
May I invite the first year students of the second cycle, master cycle of studies, who have obtained the highest number of score points. This will be a moment for you, and all of you are invited to turn your faces towards the public and show yourselves in the beautiful caps. Here we go. Thank you very much. Now, may I invite the students of the first year of the second cycle of the master's studies who have obtained the highest number of score points in this year's admissions process. And now, may I ask you to present yourselves to our distinguished public in your complete attire. A big round of applause, congratulations, and please be seated. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Rector. Now I'd like to ask Professor Agnieszka Chłon-Dominczak, Vice Rector for Science, and please conduct the matriculation of PhD students. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to welcome to our university the representatives of doctoral students beginning the first year at the Doctoral School of Warsaw School of Economics. I'd like to welcome Mr. Krzysztof Drapała, M.A., Ms. Marta Ekner, M.A., Mr. Kamil Harla, M.A., Ms. Martyna Smułka, M.A., and Mr. Piotr Zawadzki, M.A. Please rise and let me now read the text of the oath. Aware of the rights and obligations of a PhD student at the Warsaw School of Economics, with all those gathered here as witnesses, I solemnly swear to consciously acquire knowledge and to use it for the common good, to persistently seek the truth and to bear witness to it through my attitude, to contribute to the advancement of science, uphold the dignity of a doctoral student, the traditions of a good name of the Warsaw School of Economics, I swear. Thank you very much. Please take your seats. I would like to ask His Magnificence, the Rector, to present the matriculation certificates and the university caps. We invite all the PhD students to join us on the stage. And let's give a big round of applause to our PhD students. Here they are. Thank you very much. And we congratulate you. Your Magnificence, now very important words have to be pronounced. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please rise. We have to have some exercise to move it a bit. Ladies and gentlemen, I hereby declare the 2025-2026 academic year at the Warsaw School of Economics officially open. Ladies and gentlemen, Gaudiamus Igitur will be performed by the Warsaw School of Economics choir conducted by Dr. Tomasz Hynek.
sumus, gaudeamus igitur juven estum sumus, post bonam juventutem, post molestam senectutem, nos habebit humus, nos habebit humus. Vivat Academia, vivat professores, vivat Academia, vivat professores, vivat membrum felimet, vivat membrum felimet, semper sit in flore, semper sit in flore.
Dziękujemy bardzo.
Thank you very much.
Prosimy o zajęcie miejsc.
Please take your seats. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have approached the part of the ceremony where we will hear the representatives of our main characters, students and doctoral students. So now, over to Antoni Świderski, the president of the Student Council of the Warsaw School of Economics. Antoni, the floor is yours. Your Magnificence, honorable members of the Senate, dear professors, lecturers, dear guests, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear students. I would like to, first of all, address you, students, because it is you who are the very heart of our academic community. Studying here at the Warsaw School of Economics, the best economic university in Poland, is not only a period where you will acquire knowledge, it's a great opportunity to grow and develop yourself personally, to broaden your vistas and achieve your dreams. Every moment you spend here in this university is a moment where you invest in yourselves and the shared future of this country. I would like to first of all say thank you. Thank you, dear Rector. Thanks to your support, Your Magnificence. Thanks to the support that you give to all of the students, all of the academic community, our university is increasing its standing in all kinds of rankings and supporting all student activities, scientific organizations, and student organizations. It's actually this approach that the management of the university and the students are partners is behind the very innovation and openness that we draw from every single day as we learn here, as we do our academic duty. Also, I need to appreciate the support that we're getting from the faculty, from our lecturers. I would like to thank all of you, dear teachers, for your individual approach, for your engagement, for stimulating our growth, and for respect that you've been giving us. Your support and your care make us feel safe and inspired to think for ourselves. As the Student Council, we are the sentinels of the values that this university was built upon, and we believe that collaboration, harmony create an environment where we can fully thrive and develop our potential. We would like to invite everyone to be active, participate in academic and scientific clubs, be engaged in the works of the Student Council, because it's all for your good. It's all for your development. We are building a community that can face up to the challenges of the modern world. And we want to create space for all of us to achieve and fulfill our ambitions. In this Jubilee year, 120 years of this university, it is a special year. It's an honor to be part of this tradition in this very moment. Please, my dear fellow students, celebrate this anniversary and remember that this long tradition, history, this heritage means responsibility. Not everyone gets to study in such a wonderful place, so please appreciate it. Please be grateful and take care of the future of our alma mater. In conclusion, I would like to say that even though we fulfill all kinds of roles in this community, we're students, lecturers, faculty, administrative staff, or management, but we're all on one side. We are united in one goal, promoting this school and taking care of the reputation of this university, where everyone, regardless of where we stand, has a contribution. Every decision, every action, every initiative, whether it comes from students or authorities, only takes on its full meaning when it serves our shared mission, namely building a strong, open, and modern university that we can all be proud of. So let us seize this tremendous opportunity to build this university together. It's a place where we acquire knowledge, but it's also a place to fulfill our dreams and aspirations. Thank you very much. And now I would like to ask Krzysztof Karwowski, the president of the Doctoral Student Council of the Warsaw School of Economics. Dear members of the Warsaw School of Economics community, distinguished guests, members of the authorities, friends of the university, ladies and gentlemen, we are beginning this academic year in very interesting times where every event, almost every event, is described as groundbreaking or an event on a cosmic scale. So now let me take you into space, into cosmic space, because 2025 is a year in which discussions about advanced technologies, including space exploration, have taken political and media discourse by storm. The United States are preparing to get humans back to the moon. China proudly presents its achievements in building new satellite constellations. India is trying its hand at it as well. New startups are being created. A new ecosystem is being born in front of our eyes, the space economy, which of course arouses curiosity of the business world. In Poland, also, we have something to be proud of. This summer, we proudly followed the mission of the second pole in space. Sławosz Uznański-Wiśniewski, a scientist and a great example of courage and how you can pursue your dreams among stars. The Warsaw School of Economics is not something that makes you think of space, not as much as the as technical universities, but it brings a unique perspective, economic and social one. Research by scientists from this university explains the phenomenon of the space economy. It is here that articles, analysis, and management models for this difficult and promising industry are created. Last year's NASA hackathon was won actually by students from our university. And also during this year's forum, economic forum in Karpacz, the most active interlocutors of Mr. Sławosz Uznański were also our students. And I will not surprise you when I tell you that the next orbital telescope will not be made in this building, but the project to build such a telescope may be managed by one of our graduates. Actually, it will take a person, maybe from this school, to get funding for the Polish satellite. And hopefully, international institutions that design regulations for the space industry will also comprise people who are graduate of this university. So I wish for all of you, students, doctoral students, employees, members of the authorities, members of the Warsaw School of Economics community and academic year full of cosmic successes. I wish you the ambition to fulfill your dreams and perseverance to reach for the stars. Vivat Academia, vivat the Warsaw School of Economics. Well, I would like to say that you were not wrong, actually. The head of the Polish Space Agency is actually our graduate, a woman who is our graduate. And the mission by Mr. Uznański, the Polish astronaut that just went to space, was actually managed by a student who did her PhD course here at this university. Right, so our graduates are everywhere. They do everything. And well, as we inaugurate this academic year, we cannot do it without a special inauguration lecture. So it's a year that will be full of discussions and new developments. So I would like Dr. Henryka Bochniarz to inaugurate this special year for us. She will talk about the challenges of today's economy. Thank you very much. I would like to thank you for inviting me. I would like to thank you for all those wonderful, uplifting words. Also, the way you spoke about me, maybe I didn't deserve it, but it was very nice to hear. Throughout my adult life, I've always tried to contribute to the very foundation that Mr. or Professor Balcerowicz or Tadeusz Mazowiecki and lots of other people shaped. I'm not going to mention all those people because it would take me all the 15 minutes that I got for my lecture, but I've always tried to contribute and support what they have built. I think it's a really suicidal mission, so to speak, to take only 15 minutes and tell you something that makes sense about the challenges, economic challenges of today's world. Because indeed, we do live in special, extraordinary times. But I have taken this opportunity, and hopefully you are taking this opportunity as well. I have taken the opportunity to use ChatGPT. I had a conversation with it. So actually, I learned quite a lot of things. Working with this chat, this is nice because it always tells you, you are right. It always agrees with you. And it gave me some statistical data, the data that was not realistic at all. So I said to it, hey, it's rubbish. You're not right. And chat said, oh, sorry, you're right. If I said to my employee, it's rubbish, definitely they would accuse me of mobbing or harassment, and they would be right. So if you are frustrated, ChatGPT may be a good interlocutor that will help you to take out your frustration on it and say sorry to you later. Well, all those things that I don't have the time to present everything that I've prepared together with ChatGPT. You can always have access to it and read it later. But I have selected just a few things that seem the most important to me and the community that I represent. I've tried to select the most relevant things. But even the very title of my presentation, today's economy, modern economy, the New Deal, the new mess, the new revolution. These times, how do we call these times? We don't even know how to call it. All these things that have been going on for the last few years. And we're trying to come to terms with all of this. And myself, I will probably refer to some movies, some films, because I think that films sometimes are a great example of what we're dealing with. There was a film, Everything All at Once. And I think it's a great title. Do you remember when the pandemic started? Regardless of where you were in the world, who you were, what you were doing, what your social status was, for everyone, it was a huge shock when we realized that the order that we'd been building after the war and that seemed very established, all these things we realized could be gone in a matter of weeks. But I think that every such crisis, every such shock may lead to some positive things. Because for sure, the fact that we felt as a community in the times of crisis, and I don't think we would have dealt with this terrible disease if not for our sense of a shared responsibility, if not for our sense of unity and community. Like, for example, you know, the people responsible for finding the vaccine. We should digest it. We should take time to process all these things. But, you know, the pandemic was followed by other crises, and we didn't have enough time to really reflect on the lessons from the pandemic. Looking at the economy and looking at things from an economic perspective, I would say the first conclusion that appeared, and actually it was then reflected in specific action, the first conclusion was that we cannot be too dependent on one specific place of purchases or one specific place of support, because when planes were not flying, when cars were not driving, we couldn't produce medications in Poland because our facilities were dependent on supplies from China. So all those concepts and all those ideas of friendshoring or nearshoring, all those ideas came as a result of that new situation. We in Poland, we didn't have that much of a challenge because we in Poland, well, our share in the world economy is not that great. We were not that interconnected. But the whole of the European Union, it was in a vastly different situation. You know, all the distribution channels, all the supply chains were broken, were fragmented, and we had to create new cycles in the European Union. It cost us a lot. And the pandemic also left something else. It left something that we're facing to this very day, and we will continue to face it. Something that was absolutely necessary back then when the pandemic was raging. We had to agree and accept going beyond what was typical when it comes to debt, right? If it's about saving human lives, we cannot look at deficit, we cannot look at public debt. We had to save people and their lives, but now we're left with this debt. And I think there was a lot of social consensus that yes, we could do it because human life is invaluable. But on the other hand, going into debt without any curbs or any control, I mean, our debt is not yet up to the 60%. In Italy, it's 130% to GDP, 110 in France, and China, the States. It's become like a disease, a global disease. But on the other hand, you cannot ignore what could happen if there is another threat at our door. And then the European Central Bank or the Fed would not be able to bear it. We have to remember about it as a society. And I think in Poland, there's a lot of thinking that all the things that we're doing financially with our debt is without consequences. It is not. When I look at the budget for the future, for the next year, over 66 billion spent on 800 plus child benefit, billions on additional pensions, 67 billion advance payments to future defense contracts. And then who is surprised when we don't have enough money to fund science and higher education? But without these, we will never grow, we will not develop. If we continue to think about social benefits and the welfare system without thinking about all these things that drive growth, I'm afraid it will end badly. And unlike France or Italy, we're not in the Eurozone, we're not in the Euro area, we're not as protected. Do you remember what happened with Greece? Greece was even in the Eurozone. They could expect help, but still, do you remember how it all ended? I think it's one of the greatest challenges or responsibilities also of this university to show and point to the threats, to get us back to the old method, to the old way of thinking about public debt, about deficit, you know, as something that we need to curb, that's something that is unhealthy inherently. But now, after the pandemic, we sort of became too tolerant of what's going on. And when war against Ukraine started, and we know that we will continue to have to spend more and more on defense. And it turns out that now we don't have the cushion to sort of help us feel safe financially. And we're facing terrible problems. And secondly, I need to mention it because I'm talking about some of the causes of challenges, and some of these causes, some of these reasons we knew how to deal with before the pandemic and before the war against Ukraine. Some of the things were familiar to us. And even if we don't deal with these problems extremely well, we know how to find a way. Things like climate change or the energy transformation.
Again, the Polish point of view, the Polish economy's point of view is very important because, as you know, we have the highest energy prices in Europe. It's hard for our entrepreneurs to be able to compete with others given such energy prices and the huge labor cost. This is something that is hugely important, but notwithstanding the fact that the US has withdrawn from the Paris Accord, the very fact that we should have a system of submitting CO2 reduction ways by individual countries is already some way forward. And I must admit that I was surprised that when at the latest UN session, the Prime Minister of China submitted a voluntary limitation, not sufficient obviously, but the very fact that China, which is perceived, and rightly so, as a country that contributes to our huge climate problems, that China should have taken that decision. This shows, in my opinion, that the topic has been and will be pursued. And it's up to our determination and our thinking that we cannot let it go, that we have different problems. We have a war next door, so let's just forget it. That's why I very much appreciate all the civic movements that are fighting to make sure that this topic should still be vocal. And there's another thing to be calculated, and I think it's quite such a thing that we can cope with, maybe not entirely efficiently, are all the issues connected with the demographic crisis and the migration connected with it. As you will know, this is the problem of most highly developed countries. Again, we are at the forefront. The most recently published data state that our fertility rate is of 1.009. It's the lowest one in history, and we're not the only ones. In Singapore, which is a country with a much higher standard of living than Poland is, where free apartments are offered, free nursery schools and benefits, 800 plus is nothing, really. None of those instruments bring any effects, and we should really think about how to change the situation where women, to make sure that women will indeed like to have children. Professor Golding, a recent Nobel Prize winner, has shown that women are paying a huge price for the time devoted to maternity. And it's hard to be surprised that many of them give it up and devote it to their work. And again, the whole set of instruments that could be applied, not necessarily financial instruments, although they are also necessary so we can maintain it, but we have to come to terms with the fact that migration will be a necessary component of our functioning, and therefore I believe that what has happened in Poland and what is now being the way to seek the enemy is the worst thing that should happen, because indeed we should be presenting it as a major success story of Poland, where without tents, without refugee camps, we've been able to take care of those people who are constituting a major and important part of our society. We have to come to terms with the fact that the war will end, and some of them will be willing to come back and rebuild new Ukraine, but hopefully some of them will stay and stay with us. But we have to prepare that. If we want to be prepared, immigration is a necessary component of our development. Let me mention two more things that are not calculable and undefined. We are still in the process of thinking about what the consequences might be of those two factors. And I expect that young people who are just starting their studies, who are in the course of studying or writing their doctoral thesis, will be trying to find solutions to those questions. One of the component is AI and modern technologies, and you can find end-to-end voices that stating that this will be a one cure for all, from a cure to the dropping fertility rate, to another extreme where people say that this will destroy us, that it's like an atomic bomb, which is indeed worse, because at least the atomic bomb was controlled by countries, and here we have to, it's commercialized. Four largest companies acting in this realm happen to be controlled by their founders. Those people have, governments, no matter how it works, whether they have parliaments or constitutional courts, supreme courts, there are some forms or institutions that impose certain control. Here we have nothing. Since I was talking about movies, may I recommend to you, we have no time to talk about it, but may I recommend a movie which is called The Mountainhead. That's a movie which talks about exactly four technological big tech company owners that are meeting at a summit and are discussing the world as it will look like when ruled by them. And frankly speaking, since a lot has been mentioned about democracy by the Rector, and I think it's hugely important because democracy is still fresh and being built by us. But indeed, I'm thinking about what is a major threat to me. Authoritarian rule that we are facing, we could just list them one by one. On the other hand, the complete free-for-all by people who have huge money. When we hear that the largest investment projects are pursued by NVIDIA and companies that are building energy storage solutions, we're talking about billions. Billions, really. Sometimes we are talking about investment projects the size of our GDP. And sometimes we are facing a process that is totally uncontrolled. Therefore, I believe that all those who say that, well, that we should leave everything to freedom and lack of censorship. Well, personally, I subscribe to the letter subscribed by 150 outstanding scientists. I subscribe to that. We should control that process somehow. My favorite author, Stanisław Lem, whose inventions are still a source of inspiration for many people who admire him for having reached such solutions in that backwards Poland, and he was an absolute fanatic of new technologies. There was one thing he was afraid of, that was the internet. And I think that in looking at what's going on today, we have to think about what we're going to do with the social media, with AI. It's our responsibility. Therefore, I believe that especially young people should assume the responsibility for controlling all that without any complexes, to put forward new solutions. And I'd like to pronounce a couple of words, not only to the freshmen, but also older students. A lot has been mentioned about it. It's a great school, a great university that helped graduate many fantastic people. And we are at the moment when we can say that all that turmoil, everything that's going on at the same time, is a moment when you can just hide in a cave and wait through that moment. But at the same time, that's the moment when those people who are creative, open, have no complexes, they have a tremendous platform to act. Just as it was for us in 1990, where we just faced the raised ground Some people didn't know what to do about it, but some people took the responsibility, and I think this is precisely your task, with the support of your older colleagues, professors, teachers who would like to join in the process. If you need a vibrant old lady to do that, I would like to volunteer to do that job. Thank you. Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Thank you very much, Madam President, Dr. Henryka Bochniarz, for the really splendid and inspiring lecture. Very valuable, not only for us who are experienced, but also for our dear students. And that lecture gives some motivation for you, dear students, to start your academic way. And what Madam President was talking about. Mr. Rector, may I add a couple of words to what you're saying? Yes, 2 words, because I'm looking at my colleagues, the rectors, and we're going to kill me in just a moment. But I'll be speaking short and sweet. But instead, on October the 12th, it will be even longer. Yes, I'll be brief. The lecture that we heard in the auditorium made us realize how much Madam President belongs in this place. Not only because soon, very soon, the European Ideas Forum in Sopot will be held in Sopot, owing to your sponsorship and patronage, but also to the fact that the Polish transformation was developed here. You have led us towards the post-transformation reflection today. It's so important. These are the challenges to be grappled by young people, and it won't be easy. And I think I can permit myself to tell the authorities of the university, I'd like to thank you for this anniversary. The anniversaries tend to consolidate communities. Anniversaries are celebrations of memories, and these are not just facts, achievements, these are lights, smells, odors. The smell of coffee down there at Hades or Yaiko, or the Yaiko. Something to remember, it's also the music. There are few universities in the world who don't only wear 3 crowns, but they are also on the hit list. There was also the Foxtrot of SGH University. One of the authors, Mr. Maciejewski, was a graduate. In Sirena Electro, it was recorded. You'll be able to listen to it. You can find it on YouTube. It's mostly about girls. They are beautiful. They write letters. Universal contents. Beautiful blondes, auburns, and redheads also were not forgotten. So what can you say? That these days the focus on the physical look, without including the contribution of females into the development of the university, would probably be a little bit unfortunate, because the second doctoral dissertation was defended by a female at this university in 1934, or 32 that was. Also, other than Jadwiga Mrozowska's doctoral dissertation, the second doctoral dissertation, the first one was by Dr. Patruszewski. The Warsaw School of Economics is a female, as the Polish language grammar suggests. but we appreciate that. And our manager of the Song and Dance Ensemble has written more appropriate words for this occasion. I won't be singing because I promised it would be 2 words, and actually I've already pronounced probably about two dozen. I'd like to announce the person who will make us remember the old foxtrot again. In front of you, yes, I'm out of notes. I was supposed to say Partyka Bartłomiej Szopiński, the 19th, he was an awardee of the 19th day of the award, a Hammond organs player who will introduce us to the new 120 years to the sound of the foxtrot. Let's give him a round of applause.
Wie każdy student, nie tylko ja, że jubileusz uczelnia ma. Perła w koronach to ona, gdy chcesz się przekonać, przyjdź do nas studiować na SGH. Bardzo dobrze. Już w całym świecie renomę ma. 100 lat 20 jej sukces trwa. Niestraszne burze, nie dłużej, pomyślny wiatr, co w żagle dna.
Every student knows, not all, even I know that the university is celebrating an anniversary. That's a divine mood that disperses the trouble and it chases off any bad thoughts. And it chases off bad thoughts. Bartłomiej Szopiński. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Tak. Jeszcze.
Well, let me just inform you that on those pieces of paper you got lyrics by Madam Anna Markowska. You can take that home with you and you can sing it along to the YouTube recording. Right, thank you very much for this wonderful rendition. Great performance, Anna Markowska. Thank you for the lyrics. Anna is absolutely talented, and she has many talents. Being a lyricist is one of her talents, even though you could have sang, Anna, because I know that your singing voice is also beautiful. But, well, it can be still arranged in the future. Right. Indeed. Rectors and vice rectors would like to spend a little more time here just to sit around and chat, but we do have to finish, even though, as I said, many of us would gladly stay. But I have to say thank you for now. I would like to thank all the deputy rectors, all my team. Thank you for being with us on this day. I would like to thank the rectors of all the other universities. It's very important for our community to have all of you with us. I would like to also welcome President of the Leviathan Confederation, Henryka Bochniarz, for your wonderful inaugural lecture. It's great to have you among our graduates. I would like to thank Madam Hanna Machińska. You managed to fly in from Szczecin. You managed to join us in this room. Great to have you with us. And I would like to thank you for all that you've been doing. Great appreciation. It's invaluable, all your work. And of course, last but not least, our boss, the Minister of Higher Education. Well, you're a friend? Yeah, you are. I can say that. You're a friend of this university. And thank you for staying with us till the end. Thanks so much. And also, I have to say thank you to Jolanta Hibner, a member of the Senate. Thank you for being with us always. It's never, actually, you've always been with us on the inaugural day throughout the years. Also, Agata Konarska, a great journalist. Thank you for hosting this special event. It's my pleasure. Great that you've always been with us. I mean, last year you weren't. Yes, I had to, but hopefully you will continue to stay with us and host this every single year. I would like to thank the choir under Tomasz Hynek. And, well, everyone here, thanks so much. And, of course, great appreciation to everyone who organized this event, who helped us organize it. So congratulations and thank you. And, of course, Director Patrycja Wyżlis, who was coordinating all the preparations. Thank you. She actually loves organizing such events, but still, we need to show her appreciation because she did a great job. Thank you. So, Madam Director and your team, thank you. And now, well, I am closing the meeting of the Warsaw School of Economics Senate, and the academic year 2025-2026 is officially open.
Bardzo pięknie dziękujemy.
Thank you, everyone. Great that you were with us. Please be upstanding as the color guards are leaving the room, as the rector is leaving the room. Thank you. Have a good day.